What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get into. Well, there's a lot of movement starting to happen again on gold and silver. I want to go touch on a couple of things, but before I do, let's remind everybody a couple of things. I want to give a shout out to Lynette Zhang. She kicks butt ITM trading. Okay, she had this on this nifty little picture on the announcement that she made today. I'm going to play part of that announcement. But for those of you who want to know why gold and silver, why? You see, if you have gold and silver, it's a commodity money. It's real money. You control it. It's your privacy. In other words, what you do with it is your business, nobody else's. You see, the Federal Reserve note, it's debt-based fiat money, which means that the only way the economy can survive is by creating more debt. And you can see what that's done. It's a piece of crap. We're in a ton of debt, basically enslaving generations to come. They control the money, but you have your privacy. Whatever you do with it is your business. We have the new central bank currency, which is the central bank digital coin. Oh, this is even worse. It's programmable fiat money. Their control, no privacy. In other words, if they don't like you and you piss them off and you say the wrong things, they can cut your money off. I know you are. No, I never did that, really? Because go ask the people over in China. If you're like 500 pounds and they go, yeah, you know what? You're too expensive to take care of medically. So every time you go buy a big gulp or french fries and your card don't work, it's like, It's going to have the I'm too fat to eat sign. Yeah, they're going to have that kind of control. I know you're thinking, oh, that's not possible. Did you guys forget? Cuomo passed a law outlawing big gulps. How about the Democrats outlawing straws in California? Not sure how the hell, why, but okay. So get gold and silver. It's your money. It's in your control. It's your privacy. Nobody knows what you do with it. Okay. And when you go to buy gold, go to our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the video description. Just click it and it'll take you to the website. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. For those of you asking for my address, there it is. As well as, just so you guys are aware, I got a couple letters in there that I'm going through. As soon as I'm done, I will address them. You guys know I got the alternative website over here because over there I have alternative media. This is the kind of stuff that I cannot talk about here on this channel, obviously. And when I click it, you'll see why. Today I marked like 30-something videos that I wanted to highlight in my next video covering this subject right here. Literally every one of them was taken down. Boom, boom. I said delete it. I was like, oh man, I knew I should have saved them. So see, at least here I could bring you information that is worth you listening for. And then don't forget today, Maricopa had a meeting that you guys will be interested in because they kind of disclose a little bit of the things that they found so far. They're forced to do that. Let's give a shout out to our friends over at Wall Street Silver, kicking butt as usual. The link for both their Reddit page as well as their YouTube channel is down below, along with the other links. Go show some love. I'm grateful for them helping bring awareness to the gold and silver market. All right, let me just refresh this real quick and you can see what's happening. Man, I really don't know what's going on with cryptocurrencies. I keep expecting them to make a serious run. And it doesn't seem to be happening. I think what it is the longer this goes on, people start to realize, hey, it's doing the same thing gold and silver did. It had a huge run and then it ran horizontal. And it looks like it's in that stage, which is like accumulation. But gold is up still, even though it says down 30 cents. Silver, look, I'm telling you, tomorrow's Friday. We're going to watch this. Looks like it's already taken off a little bit. They kept keeping it around 26 bucks. So we'll just keep an eye on it. It started to do something earlier. See the red here on the graph? Well, it just turned around and went right back up. Let's see what that is. Switches on over here. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's. Okay, since that big drop off, which was, remember, right around July 1st or so, then all of a sudden, woof, they knocked the price down. They've been knocking it down as they cover contracts. They can try to knock it down, but we keep grabbing silver. You guys out there buying silver, man, the silver squeeze is real. It is effective. That's why you see such crazy ups and downs here. All right? Bring it up to a little bit more modern times here. So this was yesterday on the 14th around 9 o'clock, which is usually just around 10. Between 9 and what is this? Oh, it looks like 12 or 11. Within 2 hours, they knocked it down. Pretty good chunk of change. It just keeps fighting its way back up. Okay? So here's where we are, 26.36. It's looking pretty good. All right? So if you look at this, it's starting to do their climbing again. A lot of people are talking about this. It's time. And we know that there are some ending contracts. I think the last contract, well, I won't say the last, but there's still some contracts remaining. But the vast majority of them, look, we're going to show you that indeed the gold and silver is leaving the comics. So the other day I showed you was a 910,000 ounces. Look at this. Comics Warehouse, 600,000 out of the vault. The warehouse volume has convincingly resumed its descent after a couple weeks in early June when it gained slightly. So yesterday was 900,000. Today it's 613,845 ounces. What's going on? You see, that's why those prices continue to go up. These are people saying, yeah, you know, I'm not comfortable with what's going on. I'll go ahead and take my delivery of the silver. Yeah, you can see it right here. So here's a graph update. SLV no ledger silver reduction today. According to their bar report, 930 ounces was reduced from SLV's account out of the Brinks vault in London. The bar report always lags about a day, about days. So even though you see this already, it still hasn't started reporting the numbers that we showed you, the 930 plus thousand ounces, and then the next day 600,000 ounces. Woo! PSLV doesn't report for another half hour, but I suspect there won't be any new shares issued. No, you guys don't get into the paper market. It's just paper, man. You want the physical. Why do you suppose the physical chart, the demand is going up for physical, not paper? That's what you're looking at. I love all these other little things down here. We know that we've seen CNBC talk about our good buddies here at Wall Street Silver. Okay, that's just sexy, man. Seriously, each one of these are 1 ounce bars of silver. And look at them. They just go back and into back there. Then they got these are 20 ounces per roll. And that's not, this is the gold up here. Not that, who knows how far back it goes. They're stacking silver at, yeah, pretty much. There you go. They're stacking silver at a huge rate. I showed you guys that example yesterday. This is awesome right here. I talked about that. Look at that, man. When I get to this part, yeah. It's like that. That's, yeah. So anyways, look at this. Wall Street Silver, shout out to those boys. Congrats. They're being talked about over in Belgium. Should we jump in a little bit? Let me translate for you because some of you guys don't understand what they're saying from Belgium. It said a shout out to the great people at Wall Street Silver, who's done a phenomenal job. Let's see what it said. Gary here was one of these people who came across Wall Street Silver. He never bought silver before. When he read that the vaults were running out of silver and that this is a good time to buy, he did his part to buy silver. He said, I couldn't believe what I was reading. I never thought about buying gold and silver before. But once I started reading in Wall Street Silver, well, this is important. We need to start buying. There you go.
there's some pretty pissed off people. I'm not super pissed off. I'm just like fascinated, and I want to play.
De inmiddels 122.000 leden organiseren zogenaamde...
He says, oh yeah, although he does buy stuff from HempWorx every now and then, his #1 place to buy is at Money Metals. Except for they don't deliver anywhere outside the U.S. Look at these 100 or 1,000 ounce bars. So people are starting to take their deliveries out of the comics, out of the LBMA.
Make a community around physical silver to start enlightening and start raising awareness so people can protect themselves against inflation.
I think it's more so not about the short-term investment in it that I like. It's just, you know, my family having some sort of pirate chest to be able to fall back to if, you know, God forbid something happens.
So those were the two gentlemen from, well, the same gentleman, probably from the Wall Street Silver. So again, shout out to them. They're being talked about in Belgium. The awareness is going worldwide, and they are a big part of this. That's why I say, hey, run over and show some love. But look, they're running out of silver. That's not the only metal. For you people trying to get rich overnight, I get it. Same thing with Bitcoin, same thing with cryptocurrencies, same thing with gold and silver. Gold and silver is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Although, if you're buying and stacking right now, you definitely jumped on to the bandwagon at the right damn time. You are looking at the largest transformation of wealth to ever happen. It's going to happen. We keep seeing these things that say, hey, this is the day. You can see it, and they're like, oh, what do? They keep zigging and zagging while you're trying to tackle them. They're still within your reach. They're trying to do everything they can from getting caught, but it's not working. They're out of bag of tricks. Lynette Zhang will cover that here in just a moment. Although I would love to have a couple of these damn bars. Woo!
I'm pretty sure that the uppity-ups in the banks and the Conax and the LBMA just think we're just a bunch of, you know, street trash and that we're just going to quit or give up or something, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I mentioned this. Back in the olden days, what they used to do is be able to manipulate the market to scare speculators and amateurs who didn't know what they were doing into selling their physical gold and silver. It used to work. That's not working anymore. People are a lot more educated, a lot more knowledgeable than before. They don't scare no more. They're like, you can do whatever you want. I told you, if they drop the value down to $1 an ounce for both gold and silver, don't panic. No, just go, hell yeah, go out there and buy as much of it as you can. So he's right. They used to think, oh, these people are idiots, and they used to be able to scare people out of their products. It's not working anymore. It's not working at all. Nobody's selling their precious metals.
If people keep buying the way that they are, it's at least going to make a very large dent, and some very big players are going to really, really start taking notice.
Now, here's the thing about that little video. They're showing you a warehouse. Oh, hold on. One thing I noticed. They're showing you a warehouse. There doesn't look like there's very much there. You know what I mean? So again, you got to shout out to...
Now have their sights set on
shush. Let's get into my favorite, Lynette Zhang, the silver guru and gold guru. Listen to what Lynette Zhang's talking about. She picked up on the pattern today.
As soon as I know. And something major happened today. And I'm going to start with that. And it actually really flows into everything else that I want to talk about today, surprisingly enough. But do you know that junk bonds yields have now fallen below the official inflation rate?
What?
That has never, ever, 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 ever happened before.
Has this ever happened before, Lynette? I don't think so.
Essentially, you're locking in a loss, which is what negative rates do anyway.
We don't want a loss. And what Lynette is talking about is if you're keeping your money in the bank and it goes negative interest rate, you think your money is still there. You actually are losing money. Negative interest rates means you're paying for them to hold your money. Period. I showed you guys a video yesterday. Was it today? Earlier today. What did I show you? Cuba woke up and then what did he say? He said, no, we had our money in the bank and the government came in and took all their money. They took it. It's called a bail-in. Took it. I love when I keep warning people, and I told you this happened in Cyprus. And it's happened in other countries. People are like, oh, I don't think so, Pimpy. It's not going to happen here. No, what do you mean it's not going to happen here? If it's not going to happen here, then why did they pass that law? Why did they allow it? You see, they don't do stuff like that unless they plan on using it. They're test running it in different locations to see what happens. And they keep hitting all these little Cyprus, small area. Japan, well, I wouldn't say Japan is small. Cuba. These people are tired of what's going on. The government's just taking the money. And then they go, okay, we're going to make it up to you. This is what we're going to do. We're going to give you the central bank digital dollar along with universal basic income. And you'll be like, yay, because you think they're doing something great. It's no, we don't want your crappy digital dollar. It has zero value. What we want is to get rid of your corrupt government by any means necessary. Get in there a new government that's there for the people, by the people, and then fully investigate all the different crimes that these people have been involved in and see to it that it never happens again. I digress.
Nominally, they're still positive. They're on average maybe 4 to 4.5%. But with inflation running at 5.4%, and do you think that's really going to slow down? I know we are told it's transitory, but he never said how long. Fed Chair Powell never said how long transitory is. So do you really realize the implications? Because junk is junk is junk.
So what you're saying is this is junk. Here's the thing about Powell. Today in an earlier video, he came out and said he's undecided about how to feel about cryptocurrency. I mean, how to feel about the central bank's digital dollar. My guess is that they're seeing what's happening around the world. And for those of you who've been sleeping on a job, Bob, it's not just Cuba. South Africa, Cuba, Australia, Greece, France. I believe Greece overthrew their government today. I think these people are going, look, this isn't good. Because Americans currently still own and hold a boatload of their guns. So if these people are rising up like they're doing, there's a good chance if we piss them off the wrong way by taking their money, and don't assume that they won't, that they're going to rise up. So they watch what happens at different little places and they figure out how it is to deal with it. So what do we got going on? We got Nancy Pelosi inviting, yes, the United Nations into our country, which is treasonous. And if they step foot here, it's an act of war.
Right? So you're looking at corporations that are in doo-doo fiscally anyway, may or may not survive the
You thought I was the only person to use the word doo-doo.
debacle that we're going through. Most likely not, because they're already loaded up with junk. Not only have you not been getting paid for the risk that you were taking, but now, essentially,
they're
you're
taking
at
your money.
negative rates with that. People ask me all the time, well, can't they do this forever? No, they can't. They can do it longer than you would think possible.
What she's talking about is manipulating the market. People ask me all the time. They seem to always find a way. Yeah, but here's the thing. They can keep trying, but eventually you just go, look, there's nothing left to do. You got to let the markets flow.
Possible. So you might get discouraged because after all, even though gold and silver are up today, they're not up that high. And why aren't they spiking with everything that's been going on? Understand, a rising gold cost or price is an indication of a failing currency. What these junk bonds are showing you and what I'm going to show you in the repo markets, they're telling you the system is failing. The experiments that the central banks have put together to prolong this mess are failing.
Failing. Yes. They can run all they want. They could try to hide all they want. They could try to trick us all they want. They could try to keep trying to hold down gold and silver all they want. But we are at the end of the rope. I know it's road, but I like the word rope. So just be patient. All this time you should have been accumulating. You should be going, yeah, buddy. We know when Basel III came, we saw what happened. But the first time, the first wave, it went down for like a day, and then all of a sudden it started going back up again. Then when the United States on July 1st, it went down, and then all of a sudden it kept going up again. And then it just kept smashing it down. I mean, smashing that sucker down. Once an hour, once every hour, once a day, 2-3 times a day. Smashing that sucker down. So they can buy the silver cheap, so they can go ahead and when they do the shipping to honor the contracts, they had bought the silver at a cheaper rate because they really don't have any way to continue to manipulate it. We know their time is running out. Look at even Lynette saying, duh.
They're failing.
Failing.
Let's talk about the repo markets.
Let's do it.
Because it's really significant, and frankly, you just became a whole lot more vulnerable.
Say what? I don't think so, Lynette. You know why? About 96-97% of all my money is held in gold and silver. So I didn't become any less richer because I don't keep my money in the bank.
Even if you don't have wealth in the fiat money systems, we're
What?
all of us a lot more vulnerable. You know I pay attention to pattern shifts.
I do?
This one is historic.
Okay.
We may not fully comprehend exactly what this means yet. You don't need to. What you need to know is that whenever a pattern shift happens, it means something. And to me, this is a very negative pattern shift. But it should not be a surprise because we've been watching the patch that the central bank put on money market funds last September 2019. Well, guess what? That patch is falling apart again. And what we're really looking at...
You hear Lynette, she says this all the time. Look, they keep trying all these different tricks. Nothing is successful. They've been getting away with this crap for decades. They are truly at the end. Sooner or later, they're going to have a little white flag that comes up.
Is trouble. And the reason why this... Look, what do we all want? We want to be safe in our homes. We want to have financial security, to know that we can maintain a reasonable standard of living. But you're up against the global central banks that don't want you to maintain a reasonable standard of living. They keep attacking your purchasing power, wealth, in what you work for and attempt to save.
You're starting to hurt my feelings just a little bit there, Lynette. Because I bust my butt every day to make some money. And we've been allowing the central banks to attack us to find ways to take our wealth away. Yes, I woke up to that a long time ago. Thank you, Lynette, for bringing that to our attention. Because the only way you can keep that from happening is to buy precious metals. That's right. That's how you keep them from stealing your wealth. Period.
You need to have a tool that can protect you.
What'd you have in mind?
Because, hey, I'm from the central bank. I'm here to help. I don't think so.
Me neither.
If a money dealer...
Wait. Real quick, because I couldn't resist. Watch how serious Lynette gets. Look at her eyebrows. You know she's really pissed. Watch her face.
You need to have a tool that can protect you.
Watch her eyebrows.
Because, hey, I'm from the central bank. I'm here to help. I don't think so.
Look, she's still pissed.
If a money dealer
Look,
could
still
borrow
pissed.
at zero and do something with that money, he or she would do it.
That's it. When the time comes and we line these people up and we judge them and there's punishment, I'm going to put Lynette out there to kick the crap out of all of them before we do the next step.
You think?
I do. I just said it right now.
Can you and I borrow at zero? No.
That'd be enough.
But can the corporations and the banks
That would be sweet because I'd buy a lot of gold and silver with it.
borrow at zero? Yes. Even the federal government on the debt can't borrow at zero.
Say what?
But corporations and banks can. After the Fed boosted the return on the repo facility, which we're going to look at in just a minute here, from 0% for Mr. Pozar, who is really the expert in the plumbing in the repo markets and the plumbing of the financial system. He was a central banker, and now he works for Credit Suisse.
You love how they do that?
Turned the facility from a largely passive tool that provided an interest rate floor to the deposits that large banks have been pushing away into an active tool that sucks the deposits away that banks decided to retain. What all that means is that there is, with all of the money printing that the central banks have done and the government, the Treasury has done, that everything is awash in liquidity. Now, we do know that it costs the banks money to hold deposits that can move quite quickly, right? So a hedge fund or a large corporation, maybe they make a deposit here and they pull it out there. But banks like to use our money to trade, to make money. We've seen this in the earnings, that most of those earnings are coming from trades, from trading, banks trading. Well, for that, they need sticky money. That's yours and mine, because we are not likely to change banks quickly.
She's not talking about the sticky, icky money, is she? I don't think so.
Unlike entities like hedge funds, etc. But here's the concern. The concern is that this is the tip of the iceberg, and we can't see the rest of it. The more money that...
I'm going to fast forward here.
Counterparty-based.
I think this is where she brings something up real quickly. If I miss it, I apologize, but we're just about done.
Gold
Look at this.
is the only financial instrument, and silver physical, these two, that do not run any counterparty risk.
The only two things that do not run a county party risk. Your gold and silver is protected.
Okay? So, 90 counterparties, the most since 2016, parked a total of 992,000 billion cash with the Fed. Demand has yet to peak as debt ceiling reinstatement nears. So we're going to see this get worse and worse. So that's why it's important to pay attention now, get prepared now. If you haven't bought physical gold and silver yet, what are you waiting for?
That's a good question, Lynette. And that's what I've been asking people. How I've been practically begging them to do so. You need to protect yourself with both gold and silver. But if you can't afford the gold, just keep stacking. the silver. And if you haven't even started yet, you keep thinking you're trying to time this, you're going to find out that you can't. And you're going to end up losing your tuchus off. Anyways, I wanted to bring all this to you. It's been a lot of fun today. It is some interesting news. The point being that all the tools that they've been using to try to manipulate the system are failing. And once it fails, those who are in this system, in other words, all your money's in fiat dollars, you're going to lose out. For those of us who bought gold and silver to protect ourselves, you're going to gain. And you're going to gain in a big way. You will be part of the largest wealth transformation that ever take place. Anyways, that's it. You guys hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.